Okay. Well, I'm going to get going. We're going to get started today and have a very good subject today. I still get a lot of questions about the National Association of Realtors settlement that occurred in August. And I am here today to answer questions not only for realtors, but also buyers and sellers because it affects everybody. It's a game changer. And whether you're selling a home or buying a home or a realtor or mortgage lender in this process, um, you need to be aware of how these changes impact the industry. And believe me, if there's one thing I've learned from being in the industry through three major downturns, it is that those who adapt thrive. So, because there's a change and it's a ripple going on, that doesn't mean we cannot frame it in a positive way. But I will start off by telling you guys what the impact on realtors are. And for realtors, the settlement introduces a key change, and it's the removal of the realtor slash broker compensation. Offers from the MLS realtors will no longer be able to display the commission. We can no longer put the commission on display on MLS. And you really can't put it on there to attract buyer brokers. Now, this change pushes realtors to negotiate compensation directly with their clients. The listing agent negotiates compensation with the seller, and the buyer's agent negotiates compensation with the buyer. Okay? And we need to, as realtors and brokers, ensure that compensation is tailored to the specific deal and it's no longer dictated by MLS. Okay? It feels like a shift in power. You may think that, but ultimately, this is an opportunity for realtors to showcase their value. Showcase their value because oftentimes people don't realize the values of a real estate buyer's broker or a real estate seller's broker. Okay? And it's going to help realtors become more transparent in a very open way. And I like that. I like that. And I want to just tell everybody that in the middle of every difficulty lies opportunity. Okay. I will give you an example. Imagine, the realtors listing a property and no longer have MLS offered compensation to point to. Instead, what we need to do now is sit down with your buyer or seller and explain exactly what you bring to the table. That's what realtors need to do. Realtors need to explain what they bring to the table. Now, the negotiations becomes a direct discussion of value. If you look at it, we're going to reframe this, take it from a negative insight to a very, very positive one. Because buyers and sellers, when you get a realtor that knows their value and that will show your value, this is an excellent thing. This is a good thing. And realtors, once you show your value, this will set you apart from agents who aren't prepared to engage deeply with their clients about the value they provide. Value is commonplace with realtors that not only know their contract, but knows how to treat clients, knows marketing, and know their value. Negotiating. Negotiating is a must. So sellers and buyers, just get your questions ready. And if you have any questions, of course, you can always call me or email me, make an appointment with me. Now, the key takeaway for realtors is that value-based service is more important than ever. Value-based service is more important than ever. And as the compensation structure shifts, those who are able to communicate their value clearly will be the ones that thrive. Not only the strong survive, but I like to say thrive. Okay. So remember, the agent who adapts is the one that succeeds. Now, the impact on buyers. Let me explain this to you, buyers. For the buyers, the settlement introduces more control in the negotiation of broker compensation and things of that nature. Previously, the seller often covered the buyer's broker's commission, and that was displayed on the MLS. Now, buyers will need to negotiate compensation for their broker directly. Believe it or not, it's really been done for quite some while when buyer agency came along. It's just that not many realtors were aware and talked about it. I can't say many, I can say some. Okay. But this presents a shift in how buyers budget for purchase. Okay. It also empowers buyers to choose a broker that truly represents their best interests, and now you're not limited by the MLS. Okay. And I think this is great because buyers need a stake in the game, just like sellers, just like the realtors. Everybody has a stake in the game. And the only constant in life is change. Now, let me give you an example on that, okay? Consider a buyer who previously relied on sellers' MLS for their agent's compensation. Now the buyer has the power to negotiate compensation directly, ensuring that their agent provides them with excellent service and the service they need. Now, it, it doesn't matter if it's negotiations, searches, due diligence, everything should be discussed up front. Transparency is very, very key in this change. The framework basically is transparent and everybody knows what everybody is doing as it relates to the realtor's commission. The impact that it's going to have on sellers is that when we remove the compensation offers, means that the sellers will need to engage more actively in negotiating how buyer brokers are compensated. Buyers, brokers need to have a direct conversation with the buyers, and sellers, brokers need to have direct conversation about compensation to the sellers. I hope I said that clearly. Because this shift, again, is more transparent. It's a more transparent process where sellers understand exactly what they're paying for and who benefits from the compensation structure. Sellers will no longer automatically cover the commission and will have more flexibility in structuring the deal. But buyers, don't be in despair. Have the right to negotiate, but sellers and buyers, you want to hire somebody that's going to work for you, that has value, that knows the market and knows how to negotiate, and you will feel comfortable with paying the compensation for the person who's working hard for you. Reframe it. I'm paying this person to work hard for me. Now, I hope this explains quite a bit, because sellers should work closely with their agents to navigate this new landscape. And the takeaway here today that I want to send to everybody is that strategy and transparency are going to be the keys to a successful transaction. If you were not transparent years ago, or before August of this year, it may be difficult for you. But transparency is key, basically in any working relationship, period. And this is a business. Real estate is a business. I see a question. Do you think the law would lead to a decline in buyer's agents' commission? Some. If a buyer's agent knows their value and explain it properly to their buyer, and generally sellers agents will talk to their seller and everybody's going to come to an agreement. Okay, but you want to have this discussion before realtors, before you show properties, because when you start showing property, that's when you're going to work. Actually, when you start sending listings, that is when you go to work. And buyers, please note that, again, just like the listing agent works for the seller, that buyer's agent is working for you, making sure you get the best for what you're working for. Now, sellers, it's up to you to think, well, how do I want this to end? Do I feel comfortable with a full 6, 7%, or do I feel comfortable with just 3%? That is a thought that you can think about, but you also should think about everybody that's working, because the buyer's agent is bringing you a buyer. Reframe everything that you think about it. Real estate is a business, and everybody that's working in real estate deserves to be paid. And I'm sure as a seller and a buyer, you can see that. If you have any questions beyond today, or my information is in the chat, and just hit me up. Does anybody have any questions now? Okay. Well, what I would like for everybody to do, if you would join me on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. I've just started a YouTube channel and I'm pretty excited about it. And I'm going to start coming here on Thursdays, every Thursday at 1 o'clock, unless I'm on vacation or something else happens, but you will be notified. But we're going to talk about a lot as it relates to real estate, mindset, business. We're going to talk about a lot. I hope everybody has a great day and make it a good one. See y'all later.